What's going on, guys? You're watching Twitch, the Shield Bearer of Faith. A little raspy, but doing pretty good. Thank you for being here. Let's talk about another one. Let's do a baptism testimonial. So back up more than a month. Before I pulled videos down off YouTube, when I did the most recent baptism testimony video for a guy named Eric. When I did that video, if I remember correctly, at the end, I mentioned if it's speaking to you, the idea of baptism, and if I can be any assistance with it at all, to email me, and I gave my email. And I received several at the time. And I followed up and had what I call baptism interviews. You know, guys, we're supposed to be the priests of our home. If you are a husband, if you're the man of the household, you're supposed to be the priest of that home. It's biblical. You know, we're also supposed to lead our households. And I find, because I travel the whole country teaching things, and a lot of what I teach, if you really thought about it, it comes down to leadership at some level. Ownership of your own existence, ownership of your team, because the Responder 3 class is very team-oriented. But it comes down to who is going to lead people out in the world, who is going to respond and take hold of the situation. And then I try to go further, and I try to lead from the front. I personally respond better from observing or following leaders who do it from the front. Plenty of people can spout off orders or guidance from behind you when things are going haywire in front of you, but there are a few that would be shoulder to shoulder with you. And that's the thing I emphasize a lot more recently in Responder 3. Get shoulder to shoulder. Don't get behind your team. Get right with them in the thickness and the nasty. So back to the baptism. I'm trying to serve you guys, other people, the Father, whoever, by leading as best I can with spiritual guidance in baptism. I want to do as much as I can to assist people with their journey to the Lord, with the Lord. And it's been a privilege to do it to this point. And I've got already one more next week. So I was talking to this guy named Michael. And Michael is not from near my area. In fact, none of the people that contacted me after that video were. And he and I arranged for a time, and we chatted through a FaceTime, because I'd rather meet you in person. I'd rather see you and get to interact with you, see your body language, hear what you say. I'd rather interact man to man, if I could. But it's not possible to do that with everybody. And this is a time where technology is really useful, where I can go and do these conversations, these difficult conversations, still through a video format, live, and that's pretty cool. So I did. I arranged a time. He and I sat down on video and chatted, and it was pretty cool. You know, we got the opportunity to ask significant questions. Where are you at with your relationship with God? Where are you at with your relationship with His Son? Who were you? Who are you now? What changed? Why are you this person and not that person? Those kinds of conversations. And then at a certain point, we hope to come to the seriousness of baptism, what it means to you, what it meant to me, and what it means to me. And a lot of guys that I'm talking to are telling me consistent things, that they are getting some pushback or some interaction, some questioning maybe from their wives, Sure, man, my wife, she wants to know what's going on with me, right? If things start drastically changing, she wants to know why. And when I was giving my life to Christ, I had the opportunity to live the testimony. And even before I was married by worldly standards, I was biblically married. And I told my wife, I didn't expect her to believe anything had changed, but I asked her to watch me, watch the testimony. And I said, if anything has changed, you'll know. And so what I'm finding with these conversations with guys is that their wives have that same opportunity. Now, not everybody will latch on, right? But it does come down to a question of leadership. And then it also, on the wife's part, it comes down to a question of submission at a certain point of understanding or compassion. But if we, as the men, do our part right, we can have ripples like an earthquake go through our homes by what we do or don't do. Lead from the front. So, had the conversation with Michael. And we arranged that he would come drive hours with his family, a couple kids and a wife, right? To meet up with me in Indiana, where I was going to be on tour training people. And more recently, I keep emphasizing that, yeah, we're training in life-saving measures in a worldly sense, but my goal is to buy people this much more time so that they can give their souls to the Father, give everything they've got to the Father so that they never die. Because one way or another, guys, this body will die one day. It will. But that's okay. As long as we accept the gift of salvation. And that comes with a trade-off. And I've mentioned that to y'all. It's not just, hey, here's salvation, now go do what you want. No, it's here's salvation, now go do what he told us to do. Whatever that looks like for you. So I met Michael and his wife and his two kids. They're very cute. Met them at a lake. And I get some brothers there and got to have witnesses, right? And we go out, chat for a few minutes, asking the standard questions. What's baptism mean to you? Why do you want to be baptized? And he says something to the effect of, because, I'm going to paraphrase, but it's like, I'm tired of being the old me. I'm not that guy anymore, something like that. It's pretty common. Yeah, it's got to be changed. And then I asked him, I said, what kind of guy were you? I think if I remember his phrasing right, a dirtbag. I feel you. So I said, cool, follow me. And we prayed with him, of course, before that. So me and Phelps, we go down to the water. We get in the water. It's very calm, it's very quiet, it's very peaceful. And we baptize them. Now, I've learned some lessons in my time baptizing people. You always ask, is there anyone else? And I always ask twice. Because of Bob. When we baptized him, he said that if I had have asked a second time, he'd have gone. He couldn't have held back. And so now I always ask twice. Maybe that's how it works. I don't know. Maybe the Spirit knocks a couple times. So after we dunked Michael, I said, is there anyone else? Is there anyone else? And here comes his wife, taking her hair down. She was not prepared for it. She's not in swimming trunks, right? She's not in a bathing suit. She's in her clothes. And her two kids hang out with the brothers and the sisters on the shore. And I said, hey, Michael, how about you come out here and baptize your wife? Because she's saying I'm next. So I go out there with him. I was privileged to be able to baptize my wife first. That was my first baptism of someone else, right? I'm blessed to know several guys who have baptized their own wives. It's special. And it's not to say that I'm unwilling to baptize a woman. It's more to say that I don't think that it's my place without the husbands if they are in fact the priests of their home. Now, it might come up and create questions or differences that I would address individually on an individual basis. If someone is widowed or divorced, or maybe their husband is just something else, I don't know. I'd address each one individually. But I think it's valuable for the priest of that home to baptize his wife. I will absolutely assist if I am able to do so. And so I did. So we went out. I didn't want him to feel alone in it or something. I don't know. So I went with him. I said the same words I always did. And I asked her the same questions I always do. And I even clarified, you're not doing this for your husband, right? Because it doesn't matter what any of us do or think. It's between you and the Lord, right? And she said, yes, absolutely. Great. And so me and Michael went out, and he baptized his wife. I just got to hold a hand, right? I got to see a stark contrast between that miracle and somebody I was training just a couple days before. Real nice woman. She did well in the training. I think she really enjoyed the training. But she was honest, and I don't think she'd mind me telling this. I'm not giving any names. But she told me directly that her husband is not the priest of her home, that he doesn't have any interest in the Father. And then she also said that he was soft-handed. And so some clarification might have been needed. And he doesn't do manual things. He works on a computer. He doesn't care about protecting her or their kids, according to her. Now, whether that's true or not, that's her perception. Because she told somebody she had never met, right? We have to be the leaders of our home. And it was so cool to see Michael's obedience to the Lord. His next step was baptism. Praise the Father. But then it was also equally as cool to see his wife right after on the same shore in the same day say, you know what? I'll follow that. Because if it's done correctly, guys, our wives will hopefully follow us as we follow him. Don't mess it up. I'm not perfect at it. I am trying to be better. How about y'all try with me? Same deal. If this is speaking to anybody, and I'm not going to post this on YouTube, I don't think, but if you are on Patreon, this is maybe a one-off that if you would like to share this with someone directly that you know, I'll allow it. Typically, it's like, nah, get them to subscribe, whatever. You can share this video if you want. And again, if there's anything I can do to assist, whether it's just by talking, guys, giving my testimony, whatever, or meeting up with you halfway across the country, let me know. Also, if you're someone who's coming to training, don't forget, it's not just about boo-boos and band-aids, gauze, tourniquets. It's about eternity too. I hope it helps. See you later.